Sunday morning, everyone, and thanks so much for joining us. I'm Allie, Spillyards. The search is on in Tennessee this morning for the gunman who shot and killed a Memphis police officer during a traffic stop last night. Felicia Bolton has that story. Mayor Wharton and Director Armstrong asked for prayers for the family, fellow officers, and the city of Memphis. After serving Richland and Kershaw counties for 17 years, Senator Joel Lorry says he will not seek re-election in 2016. In an article Senator Lorry wrote in The State, he says next year will be his last in the State House. The article reads in part, quote, "I never intended to stay in office for 25 or 30 years. I have great respect for those who do, but there are other things I would like to do in my life, both personally and professionally." And time now for a quick check of the forecast. Let's take a live look over the capital city on this Sunday morning. It was actually a pretty cool start to the morning. Vaughn, when I was driving in, I was surprised. I actually kind of was cranking the AC down or up in the car. All right, thanks, Vaughn. And with those warm summer temps we're also used to, many across the Palmetto State spend their summer on the lake. But each year, boating can end in tragedy. South Carolina's Department of Natural Resources says so far this year, 13 lives have been lost in boat-related incidents. That's one reason why state officials are now turning to the public to see what can be done. WIS's Mike DeSuma reports. And the man who hit the boat Haley was in is 38-year-old Chad Morris. He's currently facing charges for reckless homicide by boat and failure to render aid. No trial date's been set. Meanwhile, State Senator Thomas McElveen is helping the Bordeaux with a bill in Haley's memory, one that would create speed restrictions on boats after dark. DNR is also continuing its public meetings on state boating laws. For the list of all those meeting dates and times, just go to our website and click on the big red 10. Well, police had their hands full with protesters and counter-protesters clashing over the Confederate battle flag in Georgia this weekend. Emotions ran high at the event after Confederate battle flags were placed at Martin Luther King Jr.'s home church, Ebenezer Baptist. Ryan Kruger reports. Fall will be here before we know it.
I know. I'm ready.
Well, in Tampa, they're dealing with a different problem. They are trying to dry out after storms that dumped nearly 4 inches of rain on the city this weekend.
Leaving some...
A German speedboater just set a new world record, making it from Key West, Florida, all the way to Havana, Cuba, in just an hour and 45 minutes. Roderick Liu said he brought his Apache Star speedboat to the island nation to help serve as bridge maker between the United States and Cuba. Liu and his crew made the 100-mile trip with ease, beating the 6-hour, 23-minute record set by an American back in 1958. The voyage follows a historic agreement in December between President Barack Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro, aimed at normalizing ties between the two former Cold War rivals. A German speedboater just set a new world record, making it from Key West, Florida, all the way to Havana, Cuba, in just an hour and 45 minutes. Roderick Liu said he brought his Apache Star speedboat to the island nation to help serve as bridge maker between the United States and Cuba. Liu and his crew made the 100-mile trip with ease, beating the 6-hour, 23-minute record set by an American back in 1958. The voyage follows a historic agreement in December between President Barack Obama and Cuban President Raul Castro, aimed at normalizing ties between the two former Cold War rivals.
I prepared the boat for over 3.5 years to achieve the goal to bring it to Cuba from the United States, and I'm very happy that I could realize it, to set a new world record, whatever it was, for the time. The main thing was to bring the boat here, because I just wanted really to bring it to Cuba.
Speedboat competitions from Key West to Havana were stopped 57 years ago as the two countries distanced themselves from each other during the Cold War. Relaxing travel restrictions should make future boat trips between the two countries more feasible. Fire officials are telling more people they have to leave their homes as a wildfire in Northern California continues to threaten those living in the area. So far, more than 12,000 people have been evacuated. Fire crews say it's hard to get to the areas that are burning, and hot, dry weather is helping that fire grow. It's now burned 27,000 acres, and it's only 5% contained. Well, one little girl got the weekend of her dreams. Coming up on the news at 10, how a community used a little fairy dust to create a special celebration for what could be one 5-year-old's final birthday. It was a magical birthday for a 5-year-old little girl who doctors say likely won't make it to her next birthday. Touched by her story and strength, members of her community stepped up to give her a princess party she will never forget. Amy Frazier brings us that story. Lila Mae and her family are now planning one last vacation together. Looking ahead, Richland County is offering a helping hand to families in need. The county's Recreation Foundation will choose one boy and one girl experiencing an unexpected hardship to get an after-school program scholarship. The scholarship's open to kids between the ages of 5 and 13 living in Richland County. Parents or guardians must submit a scholarship application along with a letter explaining why you need financial assistance. The deadline to apply is August 6th, and applications can be picked up at all Recreation Commission after-school program sites. We've listed those on our website. Just click the big red 10. We're about to be one step closer to baseball season in Columbia. Tuesday, officials will announce the name and logos of the minor league baseball team that will play at the new Spirit Communications Park in 2016. That announcement will take place at the Boys and Girls Club of the Midlands. Construction at Spirit Communications Park is well underway. The first vertical steel was put in place late last week. We're going to be right back with more news and an update on your forecast, so stay with us.